One of the great things about the modern era is the endless variety of choices we have. You've likely heard the phrase, variety is the spice of life. On one hand, we're fortunate to be able to experience so many options, like when we're dining out, trying new flavors of ice cream, catching a new series on Netflix, etc. But of course, you've likely recognized that having so many choices can be a bit overwhelming. And as suggested here, we are less likely to choose and less happy about our choice. In a way, the excessive number of options can be paralyzing and perhaps make us more likely to question if another choice would have been better. This leads us back to one of the main themes of this career program: becoming better decision makers in a world where our choices are becoming more abundant and harder to make. You could argue a lot of this is self-inflicted by our drive to keep inventing new things. We certainly don't need more flavors of ice cream, but they just keep coming. And this is the case for pretty much everything in our world, resulting in an explosion of the number of options of pretty much everything. This makes answering the proverbial question, what do you want to be when you grow up, more challenging than ever. With so much to learn and explore, you'd be wise to take the first steps of this journey as soon as possible. And it begins with your understanding of you. Without having a pretty good idea of who you are, there's little chance you'll be able to create a future that is fulfilling. How can you find a life that fits when you have no idea what you're looking for? You've had a lot of practice making decisions from an early age. Sometimes the decisions are obvious. Even our childhood stories help us with this skill using simple comparisons. Not too hard or too soft. So we learn how to eliminate options. But as teenagers, you're given more latitude on decision making, and all of a sudden things get a little bit more complicated. And you start having to be more accountable for your calls. This is one of those paradoxical things about getting older. You want to have more control of your life, but having more control means you're now responsible for what happens, and you can't fault others for its direction. As a developing decision maker, consider the many factors involved in a simple purchase like a new pair of shoes. Before you even start shopping, you consider what it is you need or want. Then you start your search considering factors like comfort, style, brand, color, price, availability, how your purchase will work with clothes you already have. Are the shoes made ethically? Is the retail outlet one you like and want to support? You get the idea. There can be a lot involved in seemingly easy decisions. The level of complexity of buying a pair of shoes goes way beyond making a call on an ice cream flavor. You're now evaluating many different factors, each of varying degrees of importance, which demands a whole new level of decision-making skill. However, choosing the wrong ice cream or a pair of shoes certainly wouldn't be considered a big deal. When it comes to the more grown-up decisions about your future, it is a big deal. When you're making decisions about things like having a family or following a career path, the complexity and commitment levels go up dramatically. There's no reset button or do-overs. And you certainly can't rely on a simple tactic that may have worked in the past, like eeny, meeny, miny, moe, or a coin toss, to help with these important calls. The journey within encourages you to get to know yourself on many levels, so that when you start doing some thinking about life's bigger decisions, you'll have a better chance of finding what you want. As many of these decisions take a great deal of time to explore and are impacted by your time in high school, the sooner you get started, the better. As a bonus, when you're more connected to who you are, you can be more confident with many of your day-to-day decisions, like dealing with inner conflict, resisting social pressures, having more self-control, and more, which we will explore further as we work through this section. The journey within has huge potential to help you make those challenging first steps towards having more control of your destiny.